Are you gonna go with it?
Right, all right. Give me a minute. Come on.
All right.
Don't make a sound. Stop. Welcome to the Loudmouth Podcast. My name is Ryan Perry, and I'm your host. And we're going to be talking about Billie Eilish today. I've completely fucked this, but we're with Luke Brown and Alfie Akers. I'm not your friend.
Oh, God. I'm going to save you from that, Ryan. I'm going to save you.
Save me from what?
From your hole you were slowly digging yourself. Which was beautiful. It was under my request that you did it like that.
Of course.
But, you know...
Well, as always, from me, welcome to the Loudmouth Podcast. I'm Ryan Perry, not Billie Eilish, as much as I'd want to be. She's got that dollar, and she's got the tunes. We're talking about her movie today.
Yes, we are.
But yeah, as always, joined by Luke and Alfie. And let's kick things off, as per usual, with a Biccy chat.
Or should we say beer-key chat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
In Luke's case, it's a beer-key chat.
Bevy.
Cold bevy,
Tut,
as per
tut.
usual. What's on the menu today, boys? What are your bickies of choice? Or in Luke's case, beer keys of choice?
Well, I got a nice 1664, very slumptious, very nice. Hello, Ollie Ball here.
Who's Ollie Ball?
Where have you been? Anyway,
I don't know.
I've got double cream Oreos today.
Oh, the best. The best.
I've got some very nice bickies, boys. I've got the Tesco's finest quadruple chocolate cookies.
Oh, they
Only
sound heart-stopping.
Only the finest. Yes, they do look it. I've already had a few, but I've saved 2 for the pod today. So let's take a bite. What have you got, Alfie?
I've gone full Tory. Just dropped a bit on the floor. That's why I did that.
Right.
I haven't got biscuits actually. I've got some green and blacks.
Oh well, fair enough.
Ginger.
What one?
Chocolate.
Oh, the ginger one. Ooh. I don't know
6%
about
cocoa.
the ginger one.
Who are you?
Who am I?
What's with this "who are you" thing? You said it twice.
Sorry, I didn't know we'd invited Anne Whittaker on the bloody podcast.
I know it's really sort of upper class, but it's quite tasty. Plus,
I love green and blacks,
I get really bad eczema, so
oh man,
I've been trying to lay off some
decaying.
lactose. Yeah, I've been trying to lay off some lactose, so I've started trying some. I wanted to eat some dark chocolate instead.
Yeah, green and
It's
blacks
meant to
is
be-
great. I like the
Dark
milk.
chocolate.
It's meant to be slightly healthy for you. But yeah, no.
They say that you
The
have
milk.
like a chunk a day.
Yeah, the milk one it's got a lot of fruit in it, the green and blacks milk one. And yeah, I don't really personally enjoy the ginger one, but I love the dark and their butterscotch one. That one's great.
Oh god, that one's so good. And
It's so good.
the sea salted one as well.
Oh, and the sea salt one's good. Yeah.
So delicious.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
good.
all lovely stuff. But how have you boys' weeks been?
Oh wow. So it's been. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but it's been slightly crazy. I've taken on a slightly challenging task for the next sort of over the duration of this sort of currently in the middle of at the moment. So a friend of mine, it's music related, so I suppose it also fits into the theme of his Billie Eilish pod today. So a friend of mine has written a song for their mum, and her mum's birthday is on Friday. So she's come to me and she's gone, "Oh, we sort of need to get this. I need some help with this song. Can you do some? Can you help me to sort of produce it?" I said, "Of course." And we spent the last Thursday writing the piano and the sort of the chords and melody and all that, and then we've taken it. And then on Monday we had to finish the lyrics, and then so with next available opportunity to record the vocals is on Thursday. So we've got to record all these vocals and then do and then I've got to do the mix and master within a night.
That's quite.
Well, that is
quiet.
very
So
brave of you
it's
to
gonna
take
be-
it upon yourself.
it's gonna be a tough one,
Fair
but
dues.
we're finding loop ways around it. So that's nice. That's something that's keeping me on my toes.
Good luck with that. I myself
Thank you
have
very
been
much.
working on my film video, like last year, for those who may have seen it. Basically talking about last year's films, as I did the year before, talking about that last year's films, if you get what I mean. And it's got Luke, Alfie, some of our other lovely friends in it, and a extra special guest, which it probably will be out by the time this is out. So if it isn't, can you just bleep this out, Luke? But we got Paul Chuckle in it, the homie.
I still think that is an achievement.
I think it's a great achievement. Yeah, I mean, I can literally say that I've directed Paul Chuckle now.
That is so true.
So yeah, if you check out the video, if it's out now, I'm very proud of it. I'm sure I am.
And
future me.
what I love is that if you like put this on IMDb, you can officially say, "Oh, starring Paul Chuckle."
Exactly, starring us and Paul
I don't know
You're
Chuckle.
gonna stick it on bloody.
Us
You're
and
gonna
Paul
stick it
Shackle.
on Letterboxd.
I might. This is when it hasn't come out yet, and all you can hear is just, "Oh, starring me," and boop boop, you know. But
Yeah,
No, we'll release this when your video's out.
yeah, cool. It
I've
should
gotta
be out.
say,
It should
It
be
just
out before
means-
Sunday anyway.
Just means you've got to get a fucking movie on and finish editing it.
Well, hey, I'm halfway done editing it now, so it should be done by tomorrow or the day.
how
after.
long is this one, Ryan?
It's going to be about 25 to 30 minutes. But
Right,
luckily,
okay.
Luke's seen a little bit of it, and it doesn't drag, luckily, which I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
So,
It's got a nice
That's
momentum to it.
yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And we've
Yeah,
got
we
Paul
look forward to
Chuckle
this
in
one.
it, so, you know.
It's basically just an extension of this podcast for everyone who just tunes in for the film chat.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And
had,
Paul Chuckle.
I'm Paul Chuckle.
And Paul Chuckle, fans of the Chuckle Vision.
Fans of Chuckle Vision, exactly.
I
It's
am a
funny.
big-
It's
I'm-
funny. I received. You know what? I don't even remember them being on that much.
I do.
Oh, I used to watch them.
Remember
I
the one
remember
with
them
the
a
grand
bit. Yeah,
piano,
I remember
Ryan?
the Chuckle Vision.
Oh,
Chuckle,
yeah.
Chuckle Vision.
Ryan, do you remember
Yeah.
on the grand piano and they had to get it out the window?
So good.
And the bird, they had a parrot in that, wasn't it? A parakeet or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I had Indiana Chuckles, their live show on DVD. Indiana Chuckles and the Kingdom of the Mythical Sulk. It was cinema at its finest.
I remember when old, what's his name, died and you were upset. You were like crying.
Oh God. Yeah.
I wasn't crying, but I was very upset by it, and I made a tribute video for him to that Tupac song, Life Goes On.
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember that.
I'm very proud of that as well. I'm very proud of stuff I've made today, which is
I'm
good.
sure somewhere up there, they're sitting there together,
Yeah.
He's not dead, mate.
smoking a doob. Oh, yeah, of course, no. He's in Hawaii, isn't he? Is
Oh
it Hawaii?
yeah, yeah. Tupac's still
It's funny
out there,
because every
man.
now and again there'll be like a new thing that comes up about this.
Really?
Always. Always.
Always, there's always like every like 3-4 years you'll get like the new evidence.
If
that,
you
like,
follow
Suge
the
Knight-
if you follow the Instagram account, Rap.
And you do.
Yeah, I
it's
do,
called Rap,
yeah.
isn't it?
yeah.
They're actually they're quite trustworthy sources.
Right.
Hmm. I mean, they sort of filter between like doing non-rap related news, and then
Yeah, like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife sues for 30 billion.
yeah.
Like, it's just
Are they just one of those Instagram accounts that are like advertised on other accounts? They're like, follow this account and they'll let you in for this amount of time.
No,
it's
they're a
public.
big, like sort of public account. They've got loads and loads of followers.
Are they like Hype Beast or something then?
No,
they're kind of
just-
on that. They're kind of on that caliber though.
Yeah, they just post like stuff that's relevant. It's just
Yeah.
a quick. Normally they just put a picture of whoever they're talking about, and in white and orange they have like whatever the headline is. It's not even like detailed. It's sometimes if you go in the description, it has a bit more information, but it's not even that detailed.
That's
Yeah.
fair enough.
And it's funny because they sort of switch between like whatever's happening in the world or in America, more realistically, and then they'll also just flip to whatever the most current rapper doing right now, and it'll be the most concise sometimes the most uninteresting piece of news you'll ever see. It'll be like
all
Kodak Black celebrates his son's 5th birthday today.
That guy's a rapist, isn't he? Fuck that guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, yeah. Fuck you, Kodak
Fuck
Black.
Kodak Black. Yeah.
In other news, my week,
If you're a rapist.
my last 2 weeks that we've had have been pretty eventful. We've had we've had a few things happen.
Well,
Headlines, though.
Which are you gonna go first?
Shall I do it? Shall I drop the one which I was gonna drop?
I don't know. We have a few,
Yeah.
don't we? Sorry for the voice break.
We do. I'm gonna drop a little manger video.
Okay, do the video. All right. So
alright.
there's this video that Luke managed to capture late at night on his CCTV. I have seen it. It's hysterical. Alfie has not seen it yet. So
Are we going to do a live reaction?
live reaction? Why don't you pop it on
I'm
open
give
right
some
now,
context
Alfie?
before you.
Oh yeah,
watch
give
it,
some
though.
context. Go on.
So
Okay,
it's
okay.
about 4 a.m. I've got horses, and they are obviously wild animals. That's got nothing to do with what happens at these events. But put it this way, one of our horses decided, and she's not a small horse, she weighs a good 2 tons, decided that she would roll over in her sleep.
Don't say too much. Just let the video speak.
I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to get a live reaction from Alfie Akers on the podcast. Right
Go on,
now.
Alfie. Open it up.
I'm looking
Give us a
forward to
countdown as well so we can sync it up.
this. Okay. Right. 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, Granda.
I'm just waiting for when it's going to happen.
Fucking hell.
There you go.
So it was late at night. She must have just fallen over.
3 a.m. in the morning, yeah.
Yeah.
In the morning. I mean, that's sort of like me when I get back after a heavy one. But I was
Yeah,
surprised that
stumbling through the porch.
Yeah, I'm just surprised.
That
the
is.
horse-
Oh my
thing.
god! Like, I'm surprised the fucking building didn't start to wobble.
Well, it was the fact that it fell onto the other one, which was already asleep. I felt bad for that.
Yeah. So did you get like a notification like there's loud noise? It like because
Yeah,
it's like
the
the security
note-
system. Do you get like a movement detection?
No. The notification was that there was a fucking hole in the wall. That was the notification.
Oh my god! Was that what? What was that stuff across the screen? Was that rain?
That was dust.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
it's
was
dust.
dust. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we got this in their stable. They got a divider, right, which is made out of wood and steel.
Yeah.
And the steel, I think she must have hit it at a certain angle that it just knocked out the bit of steel which holds in all the boards, and they all just went straight through the other side and scared the shit out of both of them. I mean, I remember Ryan was pissing himself when
I was in hysterics. I could genuinely, like, this is not an exaggeration. I couldn't stop laughing for at least 4 minutes. It was just constant. Like, it's the sound and the scenario and everything. It's sort of paranormal in a sense.
The sound effects that go along with it. I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like,
Imagine.
Fucking loud.
Well, imagine if you.
I've
Imagine
shown
if
it
you
to
like,
everyone. I'm
imagine
like,
if you-
you've got to see this.
Imagine if you like have like you can't sleep or something, and then you've got to hear the next door.
The best thing is Luke's dad's reaction the morning after, where he goes
up,
"Fucking Chewbacca."
back out, and he walks off and he goes, Jesus Christ.
The most sad thing ever. But...
I'm surprised we didn't
that
get
is
a-
right.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, classic wow. And there was something else that happened as well, wasn't there, Luke? Or shall I do my little tale about this guy on the wall here?
Yes, I think that's a relevant story.
Well,
Oh right, yeah.
It's
So
a sad
Alfie-
story, actually.
it's a sad story. You'll
About-
be aware,
about
Alfie.
robbery, thieves, and I'm making it really more dramatic than it needs to be.
Yeah. Well, basically what happened was I think we told you, Alfie, I'd ordered an original World's Fastest Indian poster for the set when we resume in-person podcasts. I ordered it from eBay, and it was being sent to me, and this will probably give away where it's going, by Hermes. So,
oh no.
Yes. So, I was getting an unusual amount of like updates, like tracking updates from them, saying, it's now with this like department, it's now with this courier. And I was like, it was like 3 emails a day about it, like, and it was only a 4-day delivery. But the day it arrived, it was in this PVC tube, which had arrived on my doorstep. It wasn't like I was late to it. I didn't hear the door knock. Like, I came as soon as the guy knocked on the door. And I came up to it, and I picked it up, and I was like, why does this feel so light? And it wasn't until I got inside the house that I noticed that the tape holding the poster in had been cut off, and the poster was gone. Therefore, leading me to believe, and it probably is the case, that some fucking old dad at Hermes has nicked my World's Fastest Indian poster. I came out the house, waving
like
at the delivery driver as he like drove off, trying to be like, "Oi, is it in your van?" But he was like, he was looking at me going, "Vroom." So
see, because he stole it, probably.
Yeah, I think he probably nicked it. So it's the most odd thing to steal, like a World's Fastest Indian
The
poster.
reason why we were like, someone's definitely taken this, is because normally, if say like the package was pierced, like there would be tape inside, but it'd actually been like cut off.
Yeah, it was genuinely like it was gone, and there was tape around the sides as well, so it wasn't like it ripped off or anything. But
what
a true shame. And it was a good poster as well. Shout out to Jason from eBay, who I got it from, but he was very helpful.
Have you sorted out the like returns?
Yeah, I've approached Hermes, and they are going to issue me a refund. Thankfully,
I saw a thing on Joe Lycett's show.
Oh yeah, got your back.
About Hermes, and there's a big scandal with Hermes where basically they lose parcels mysteriously. And they end up in these big auction houses.
Yeah, well, maybe that World's Fastest Indian poster was rarer than we thought.
Maybe. Well, I found one in the States for $44.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's cheap over here, though, isn't it?
True.
$44, that's like 30 quid here.
Yeah, but like 50 quid postage.
Yeah.
Yes.
As someone who's ordered a lot of A24 shit from the US recently, it's very easy.
I'm a seasoned expert.
I'm a seasoned expert, you know.
What I don't quite get, okay, it's a fairly big film.
Sure.
But if it was a mint 1977 Star Wars original poster, yeah, I can understand why someone want to steal that. Or, you know. And obviously we all love the movie.
We do.
But it's pretty niche.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty niche film. I mean, I didn't even know it existed until you guys introduced me to it, and I don't even know where you discovered it. You discovered it because in your like aunt's DVD collection or something?
Well, no, Luke showed it to me because his dad loves it, and that was in primary school. And then, secondary, and then I nicked my my uncle's DVD of it. I was like, "Can I have it?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, go on." So. Yeah, that was how I came into contact.
I remember the other week.
So someone,
which is here on the wall right now. That's the exact DVD. Yeah. So, yeah.
So someone really there's probably like, if we're going to assume that this sort of thing where they look through the parcels and see, they think, oh, there's a poster in there. I'll look into that. They might have just gone. There's a really big chance that they might have just gone. What, what is this?
Yeah.
About? But someone really out there must really like World's Fastest Indian to steal that.
A lot of broke dads working at Hermes.
I remember when Ryan told my old man, I was on the phone to Ryan, I was in the kitchen. Ryan was like, yeah, I've just bought this genuine copy of the World's Fastest Indian.
I wasn't being that smug about it.
No, anyway. Then my old man goes, I've got a signed one by the real Burt Munro.
What?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has a
Yeah.
real signed poster by the real Burt Munro. I know.
You're shitting me. You're
No.
you're taking
No.
the piss.
I said this
No.
to him. I said this to him because I thought we've got Paddy Hopkirk posters and he's got them signed. And I thought he was on about that. And I was going to be like, no, Dad, it's not Paddy Hopkirk. But he knew exactly what he was talking about. He was like, yeah, it's a poster of the Indian signed by the man
Burt
himself.
Munro.
I think
Did he meet him?
I don't know where he got it from. He got it at
I think with your father's permission, Luke, maybe we should hang that up instead.
yeah, I think that would be better.
I think we should do that.
That's
big.
I'm actually in a state of disbelief right now.
I was.
I think me and Ryan both were.
That hasn't quite sit in yet. So your dad's got a poster signed by the Burt Munro.
Yes.
From a cork from a brandy bottle.
What is this? It's a cork from a brandy bottle.
I needed a cork from a brandy bottle to seal up my fucking PVC tube, man.
So there was a silver lining to this story, which was that we've got something better than the real poster.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. That is quite incredible. That is
incredible.
really interesting.
Well, I think
Oh
before Luke leads us into what his next story is, I think we should do that after our little.
I was
going
to say that.
Yeah.
I just want to say,
go on,
because
go on,
I
Alfie.
met someone the other day, and I promised them that I'd bring this up on the pod.
Oh, okay, go on.
Okay.
We have had an official complaint.
Have we?
Yeah.
Have we? Oh
Our
my God.
French, apparently, when we were talking about la haine,
All right, yeah.
was pronounced incorrect. It is actually spelt la haine. Like it's
Oh
pronounced
yeah,
la haine.
no, yeah. Ben has told me this before. Yeah, it's supposed to be Latin.
La haine. Like is this as if it is pronounced n?
Yeah,
N.
N. Yeah, like
Latin.
Latin.
La haine.
Yeah.
And also, it's not Hubert, it's Hubert.
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 Yeah.
Hubert.
Well, that was pretty good.
Hubert.
Hubert.
I'm going to try and guess who picked you up on this.
Please do.
Do they go to our college?
No,
No.
you'll never guess it.
I'll never guess it then.
Daisy, she knows who that is, obviously.
Yeah.
Is someone I've just recently got in touch with, and she does French at A level. And when I met her on the weekend, she was like, "Oh yeah, I was listening to you. I've been listening to the podcast recently." I said, "Oh, that's great." And she said, "Oh, by the way, though, it's Latin because she studies Latin for her French studies in." in French.
Really?
Yeah. So she
that's
said,
cool.
she's like, "I think I've seen the film like 10 times, back to front, because I've just had to study every single thing." So
I wouldn't mind watching it
not
back.
only does she have to learn the French, but because they all speak slang, she's also had to research 90s French slang. Which I think is kind of cool, actually. Yeah.
That's quite cool,
you
yeah.
had me worried there for a second, Alfie, when you said we had an official complaint. I was thinking,
Yeah,
shit.
sorry.
We've been cancelled.
I was like,
Shit.
oh
Good
shit,
time to-
what me and Ryan said now.
Ryan Perry's old tweets have been
Oh
resurfaced.
God.
Oh,
I think
God,
I
no.
think like the worst tweet I ever posted. I'm trying to think.
Was you with Nutella on your face?
No, I think it was just one time. It was I hate Gok Wan, but he was just he's just a
Gok
prick.
Wan.
No, Gok
He's
Wan's
this-
great. Gok Wan
he's
is
the-
great.
I don't know. I just found him really
No,
annoying.
Go fashion. That was his
Oh,
intro.
Yeah, or something like that. Where he's
Basically,
like, he had this thing where he'd go, "Come on, fatties,
Yeah.
come on."
he would convert fat middle-aged women and make them like these ideal supermodels, supposedly, right? So he'd like go
Right.
through their wardrobes, strip them out, and be like, "Right, this is disgusting. Would you ever be seen dead in this in a
He was a
restaurant?"
dickhead
Okay.
though.
He was an arsehole.
You know-
He's
you know-
hardly in anything.
You
now.
know who that reminds me of?
Go on.
What's that show? It's like the 5 homosexual men, and they do. It's
Oh,
on
Queer
Netflix.
Eye. Oh, but Queer
Queer
Eye's
Eye.
great.
It sort of reminds me. I've watched one episode of Queer Eye because I was like, okay, what's the fuss? And they had this dude, and they were like, I mean, to be fair, like they weren't as horrible about it. They were pretty.
Oh
nice
no, they're not
people.
horrible in any way.
But they're
about
like-
it, no.
But they, oh my god, can you imagine the sort of the judgment one might receive for high.
Well, yeah, you would feel a little bit judged if this is like their professional thing.
What was the?
They're all very sweet guys.
Yeah, they're nice
show.
guys, but like I can't
what was
imagine
that show? What was that show where there was the main guy and he was like, "I'm going to show these fatties what it's really like to lose weight."
I know who you mean, but I've got no clue what his name is.
I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah. But anyway, shall we move?
2000s nostalgia, that is.
They got away with everything 10 years ago.
Right. We're going to get straight into this Billie Eilish.
Shall we somehow move on to Billie Eilish? So, Billie Eilish, her new film, The World's a Little Blurry, just recently came out. I watched it, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago now.
I watched
when
it
it was
2 weeks ago.
when it was Ben's birthday. Friend of the podcast, Benjamin Gozel, fellow Star Wars nerd. I watched it with him for his birthday. He was dying to see it. He loved it. I loved it, and Luke watched it. He'll tell you his opinion in a minute. And it's the story of Billie Eilish as she rises to popularity.
Is that million?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
From around 2017, recording her album When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? To around 2019, beginning of 2020, when she wins a fuck ton of Grammys. Sounds like it would be fairly straightforward and a little bit, but it's something else. Boys, what did you think?
Luke, by all means, take the stage on this one. I want to hear what you had to think.
What did I have to think? Interesting one, this.
Yeah.
Really, I've never seen a sort of an artist documentary like this one before. It's very similar to a lot of the sort of following a evolution of an artist sort of kind of documentaries.
Sort of like the Katy Perry, Taylor Swift
they've
ones.
all got similar sort of things. I mean, at the heart of it's a documentary, isn't it? But what was really nice about this one is it really highlights the fact that even though she's famous, she hasn't changed.
Yeah.
That it show. The thing I really like about this is if you have any preconceptions of what fame does to you, and it does, this is the stereotype that normally happens.
Yeah.
This sort of documentary like undoes any of those preconceptions.
Well, the whole film itself is about fame, but
and she's just such a genuine person. Her and her brother's working relationship is like, it's inspiring. And her ambition and her sort of, I don't know, her love for her fans is quite, it really is quite nice. It's a sweet documentary to watch when you see it.
It sounds odd, but it reminded me a lot of Lady Bird, because it's very much a coming of age film in a sense.
Yeah,
like
I suppose
we
so.
are following her in her formative years, which just so happened to be her becoming a mega famous pop star.
Yeah.
And you see, like, you know, troubles with this first relationship. You see, like, her relationships with her family members start to change in ways, especially with her mum. You see a lot of that, and her friends around her, and it's wild.
Really, it amazes me how alienated she becomes towards the end of it, and it made me feel really bad for her actually, because 9 times out of 10. That is what happens. You become alienated from the world you once knew, and your friends become other famous people. That is your world. Yeah. Because it unfortunately it is an exclusive club, and then once you're in it, you're kind of going to struggle to have whatever you have, any kind of normality.
Yeah.
Back to your
well, I
life
think
again.
she's still very much like she says at the start of the documentary, I believe, like she is quite an introverted person. She only has a small circle of friends, so I presume she's still friends with those people.
Yeah,
but they in return have also grown with her, because like if they're on her Instagram story or something, they're gonna, you know, get a following in a sense, being like, that's Billie Eilish's mate, you know.
And the other thing that I really like about this is it's how someone can be a no one and then become someone. In the space of, it's literally Justin Bieber revisited over again, and I think that's probably why Justin Bieber had such a sort of, other than the fact that it's Billie Eilish and she's becoming this like new artist and he wants to show his face and the pleb like that. But it's more than that, though. It's sort of how these people start in their bedroom just recording music and grow to be multi-billion-pound.
In a sense, they've both had the same sort of journey in a way.
And it's ironic that she's obsessed with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm really fascinated by Billie and Phineas.
Yeah. Phineas seems like a a really smart man.
Phineas is the reason why she is where she is.
Yeah.
She owes
and I wanted to
comment
on that. I wanted to comment on that because it is very interesting watching the new world of recording and production and how the new artists of this world create their music, and shows that this is what it is like now. Because, you know, back in the day, this kind of the way, I mean, think about it, like the whole of that album was recorded in their bedroom. Yeah. And you see that, and you see them still doing that. They still record it. They make the Bond song on a bus.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, and obviously they're using nice kit. I mean, she was using a Neumann TLM 103, which is about £700. They've got various audio interfaces that cost ridiculous amounts of money these days, and all the rest of it. So there's obviously good kit there, but it is kit. But
in the grand scheme of things, though, compared to her counterparts, that's cheap kit.
Yeah, that's If you look at what you will find in the studios that the artists of her caliber work in, there are piece of boxes with a couple switches on them that cost 300 grand or three grand that they don't make anymore because the parts that made them are now illegal and stuff like that, and all this sort of bullshit. And it's really interesting to see how we now how the Billie and Phineas, who is a genius, he is so amazing at what he does. And I know, obviously, fair props to Billie, she's got the spirit, but Phineas has got the voice. She's got the voice, she's got the spirit, she's got the soul. I think she's the soul and face of the
personality.
She's the personality. She is almost like the icon figure. But Phineas has got the genius and the ability to take Billie's notepad and her vocal on and make it into a tangible thing.
He is a genius, and his creation and his bass in it that he uses, his production quality is insane. I have to say, some Billie Eilish songs have got the best bass I have ever heard.
And I don't know if he had any involvement in the mixing on this film, but the live sequences sound amazing because I was watching it with headphones on, and it was like,
I believe that he gets it all mastered by someone else because they were talking about that in the film.
Well, I did a bit of research whilst I was watching this, actually, because I was intrigued. And I said, well, who mixes and masters for Billie Eilish? And I can't remember his name. But they did have a guy who mixed for the latest album, Where Do You Go When You Go to Sleep? And it was interesting because he said, actually, Interscope, they're obviously going to right, we've got to give this to a professional. And he said it was worked very closely with Phineas. And he was actually, he said there's a lot of time where you get clients where they'll just go, right, we've just recorded this, now we send it off to you. But because of the way a lot of production is going now, a lot of mixing is done at the conception phase when music is being created, because we've got access to electronic kit, and then so far, if you wanted to EQ something, you don't need a desk to do that anymore. You just need a mouse, and you can just drag it over a graphic equalizer, which means you can change the sound, which technically counts as mixing to a certain degree. So it's funny, he says, now I've already got stuff that has been tweaked, that has been EQ'd, and I will still be doing stuff, but it is less involvement than, say, something more traditional. like a band or maybe some other artists sending stuff through, and then you do all the EQ and compression yourself. Because I think someone like Phineas has a lot more hands-on and a lot more hands-on approach when it comes to production, and isn't only just laying down all the instruments and synths, which apparently are very simply laid out, but also is like doing things with EQ and compression and reverb and all these different techniques. So although it's getting mastered separately as well. So I think that it is really interesting as someone who's into this sort of thing to watch these two make the new standard.
Yeah,
It's
And
inspirational as hell.
it's inspirational.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Who
really
for
inspirational.
people like
Yeah.
yourself, Alfie, for people who make music at home, and for
Yeah.
right where we are right now, where people are obviously a couple of months ago we were all locked away and we were sort of having to make, if you were a musician, you were making stuff at home. It's inspirational that all you need is a laptop and a decent microphone.
Yeah, and you've got like all the big bedroom pop acts out there now.
Yeah.
I think but I think Billie and I think Brockhampton, I'd say, are the two people, like two big idols who have been like showing off doing it from home in like a big, with a big audience. It's
In fact, I remember. Sorry if I interrupted.
No, let's go on. Go on.
No, I remember seeing a tweet from Phineas, and he said, "It's like a lot of people give me shit for not recording in a professional studio." He said, "But at a professional studio, it takes them half an hour to figure out how to get the aux chord working, and whether I can just play it all."
And it's also,
but it's kind of it.
You go on.
No, you go. You go.
Well, I was gonna say it's also a better environment for a lot of the artists. Really, like you see, Billie feels a lot more comfortable, at home when she's like coming out with these lyrics. There's the scene where she's going over like the sort of suicidal nature of one of her songs with her mum.
Very supportive family.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like once they've had that like big emotional chat, they just swing straight into it, and then once they've recorded it, they can be like, "Oh yeah, that's good," and then they can even laugh about it sometimes.
I was sort of the reason why Billie has done so well is because she's been in the right place at the right time. Her family is music orientated from the get go.
Yeah,
that she's had such a good in. Her brother was in that band before he was working with Billie.
Mm-hmm.
So he had all this knowledge, and I think for them to collaborate on this after her first hit was like, okay, we've got something here. I think they were like, right. And then her mum is obviously being her agent in terms of managing her.
Yeah,
I think she's had a really good run at it to be the best that she can be. I mean,
it's as much about her mum as it is her.
The
really.
family.
Yeah,
it's as much about
the whole family. Yeah,
and it's interesting actually. I think I was watching some mum and dad, and I think dad commented, "Oh, Phineas, he's kind of in the background, and at first you might think that it's just because Billie is in the spotlight, but I can't help but feel like if Phineas wanted to be in the brand and in the kind of on the CD cover, if you like, he could be, but I think it seems to me at least he is purposefully stepping back."
Yeah,
because I mean he does his own solo stuff, and he's in the press just as it's just a lot. But I think Billie is the star, and I don't know. I think a part of me thinks, I think Phineas has sort of gone, I'm going to take a step back here but
she'd be fucked without him.
Yeah, she would be. Yeah,
because no producer could come onto this and do just half a.
I think definitely at this point in her career, like if she didn't have him, they'd definitely like not be where they are. But I think maybe at some point down the line, she could maybe stray off from Phineas and let him do his own stuff. But obviously that comes with time. Like. They're growing together.
This is what I like about this documentary: is it set us up for this open-ended story. And now we've been sold the idea, we want to see what happens with it. And I think really this is a great way of launching us into this sort of world that they've created together and showing us, this is young, ambitious people who had a dream and they've made it happen. And
I'd love to see like a sort of sequel to this.
They've had a very good label to assist them with that. Interscope is
a
great label to be a part of. And going back to what you said earlier about how the film sounded great, Ryan. I mean, what you couldn't expect anything less. Apple bloody
No,
made
of
it.
course. Yeah, Apple TV
Of
Plus.
course, of course,
It's probably like the best thing on Apple TV.
I was going to say, I think this is
Along
probably the
with
thing
Ted
that's-
Lasso, though. I know
Of course,
Luke
they're
doesn't
going to
like
find the
it,
best
but-
person to mix this.
Yeah, they've got to.
It is the best thing.
Out of interest, what's you guys' favorite Billie song?
Oh, interesting.
I Love You.
Okay, yeah.
I even learnt to play it on the piano.
Oh, well, there you go. It's a very,
It is
it's one of the very
definitely-
like,
it's the one that broke me into Billie Eilish, and
Yeah.
then the other one is 6 Feet Under,
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
because actually I remember before I listened to Billie Eilish, I did a cover of that with my friend, and we have got it recorded somewhere, but going to do it again. And I thought, oh, this is really nice, yeah. And then I think that's when I got into. I had a look at I Love You, and I thought, oh, that would be really nice to learn on piano, and I'm still doing it because it's really hard, which I've been doing for like the last 8 months. And
Perfection takes time.
Yeah, well, if you want to call it that. And then yeah, so I think I Love You is my favorite Billie song.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of really. Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with Alfie. I think that
I'm a big fan of All the Good Girls Go to Hell.
That is, yeah.
Yeah,
It has a sort of snarky, not anarchic or punk, but just sort of like, you know, I know I'm better than you kind of thing to it. And like the just the whole like sleazy nature of the track, it feels like something growing up and
I love the fact
yeah.
that she's taken control of all aspects of this though. She's directing her own
Yeah.
music videos,
Yeah.
she's coming up with the ideas.
yeah. I'd be interested to see again from like a absolute film nerd's point of view, but to see like her direct her own sort of film or something.
yeah,
Because like you see her sketchbooks and she's a really good like drawer artist.
yeah.
Like in
And
the drawing
thing
sense.
with this documentary, like you said earlier, is a coming of age documentary. It covers teen relationships, it covers teen growth, and it covers suicide, and it covers depression. You know,
Yeah.
that page in her notebook, which is like, she says, oh, this is quite a dark one. It talks about how I want to cut myself kind of thing. I was like, you know, that's why people have such a connection to her, because she is so genuine and people
Yeah.
can connect with her. That I think that's partly why she's so successful.
And one of the joys for me watching this documentary is seeing that and seeing this. You know, you don't see a fake side to either Billie or Phineas in it. Actually, seeing them interact with each other like regular fucking people even reminded me of people I know. Bacon and Tomato, Luke.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? They remind me of do you know what I mean? Their dynamic is very very similar.
I mean, I agree.
That's a little inside.
That was
thing.
very inside.
Yeah.
Bacon and tomato. Fry up. What's going on?
D&T, basically, but they are good friends of ours, and they have very similar dynamic. And that was kind of sweet for me to see, because it's like, oh, these are real people. In fact, we know people like these, like Billie and Phineas. And I don't know, because it's so hard to get lost up in that whole kind of uber pop star mega idol look, and seeing a rather unforgiving documentary, if I really do say so.
Oh yeah, no, it's completely
It's almost
throwing it out
refreshing.
there.
Like there's my mum brought up something actually that was quite interesting, and it was sort of an alternative look. She said, this kind of having this camera on her 24/7 whilst also dealing with all the press of being a pop star. Is this too much? Is there not enough privacy?
Yeah.
Is there like this sort of idea that, does she have a moment to herself, and even with a camera pointing on her? So even at the moments where she's shouting at her tour bus, at all the people who, not shouting, but having a go at her mum and all the sort of people who are like, oh, Billie, come meet this person. He's an executive at this, and all that. Is this too much? Should we see this? Should this be something that actually we, and I'm saying this as someone who enjoyed the documentary, this is an alternative opinion. Should we actually be seeing this documentary? Is this too much of an invasion of privacy, which Billie Eilish currently lacks?
They deliberately wanted to show you all aspects of her. This is how she's handling this. That was what they wanted. They wanted to show this instant. This is how she's dealing with all this stuff.
Yeah, and I can imagine she had sign off on it anyway. Like she was, but I can imagine she didn't really care. She was just like, "Yeah, show them."
I mean, I felt sorry for her and Q because you could tell that Q was an asshole.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's what we were saying. My dad was going, "Why is why is she still with this twit?"
Yeah, exactly. Absolute dick.
Yeah, that's such a dickhead guy. Sorry, Q, if you're watching this. Fucking hell.
It's true. I don't. She could have done so much better, and I think also part of me thinks the reason why they didn't work was because I think he thought she is too hot in terms of press, media outlets talking about her. He didn't want to be gobbled up in that.
No, of course. Yeah. And I think it's like exactly when the Coachella performance happens, which is like one of her other big points in the film, is when he switches off, and that definitely would have taken his mind up.
And he sort of doesn't really seem to show support.
No. Well, also listening to a few songs off the record, like after watching the documentary, you can almost get a sense of, oh, is this song about Q? Because like a lot of the lyrics seem like her being like, oh, look at you needing me and stuff like that.
And it's very much the case of, I never knew we sort of never really knew what was behind a lot of Billie Eilish's lyrics before. Yeah, because she's very private. Yeah, but they're all quite sensitive and clearly based off concepts that are real to her. So actually having an insight onto what caused this kind of stuff is into these kind of lyrics is interesting.
Yeah, fascinating.
I think especially someone who's I know she gets a lot of hate for being popular, but someone who's such a talented musician as well. It is quite
that's
nice
completely out of her control as well.
Yeah.
Like, can't really rag on her for it.
I've always defended her. I think a lot of people
yeah
like to rag on her just because she's popular, but I think she's one of the best pop musicians we've had in the
currently,
last,
definitely.
In the current era we are in. She's one of the
genuine.
best. She's one of the most. She's genuine, and she's inventive. Like, she's coming up with stuff no one, like, I think we're in a glory days of music.
100%.
I think music has almost never been so good for the stuff that we have access to and the stuff that is coming out. I think people are more looking to experiment, but I think Billie Eilish paves the way for that.
Yeah. And she can also get mad likes for posting a picture of her with blonde hair. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The biggest news of the week, probably, that Billie got blonde.
Billy's blonde.
Billy's blonde. Holy shit! You know. But
I mean, I like the picture, so I can't really comment on whether.
There you go. But yeah, what are we feeling for ratings, boys? I give it personally a 4.5 out of 5. Really, really loved it.
I'm going to say 4.5 as well.
As he pours a 1664 into his big old pint glass.
That's a lot of top.
That is a lot of top, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I let it sit. Oh, she's dripping.
What about you, Alfie?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, I think. Yeah,
it's quality, good.
Yeah,
it's a good documentary.
I mean, the only thing I'd say is, I mean, a lot of people have it because you get a free trial with it when you buy a new iPhone, but Apple TV Plus is kind of a small streaming service, but obviously it makes sense for it to be on there.
I think.
Well,
do you know what? At the beginning, you said that Billie Eilish's doc was the only good thing on that. I watched
Ted Lasso.
Cherry.
Ted Lasso's great.
Cherry.
Oh, Cherry! No, of course, Cherry.
Cherry was very good. I gave that a 4, I think.
I have heard mixed things on Cherry, but you seem to think
good and bad.
This is the Russo brothers' new film, right?
Yeah.
My overall feelings for it were, this is a good film. It's the best Tom Holland performance you will see, and it felt very Breaking Bad in the 21st century.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
It tackles some very big topics.
Well, yeah, I know it's heavily about the opioid crisis and stuff like that. I'm interested to check it out, especially for that arsehole point of view shot. Which looks nuts, but there you go.
Oh God! Well, yeah. I mean, I'm quite curious to see it just on basis on that is Tom Holland's best performance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's a claim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bold
I mean,
claim.
he was really good in Devil All the Time, despite being like in the weaker half of that film.
He's
Yeah.
really come a long way recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has.
And he is a
Yeah.
good actor. He's a really
He is
good
a good
actor.
actor.
But
It's nice to see him get work actually.
I mean, speaking of good acting, I think my acting was pretty bloody good.
it was pretty bloody good. Well, why don't we head on in to the topic that we mentioned earlier? Luke, I'll let you run through it.
No, I'll let you tell the story up to
Oh,
the point,
really?
up to the point where I take over because you're
This
about
is what they
okay.
do, by the way. They come up with stuff and they keep me out of it so they can tell me.
You're the
Luke will
audience's eyes
FaceTime
and
me.
ears.
Yeah, I'm the eyes and ears because Luke will FaceTime me and go, God, oh my God, something so funny happened. I'll be like, what? He's like, I'll tell you on the pod. And I'll be like, oh.
All right. Well,
genuine reactions though, guys, from this game.
Yeah. So I mean, nothing I'm faking. It's all real.
No faking. So, friend of the podcast, Oscar Tarbox. We know him.
He was
We
topical last week.
He was
Yes, he
topical
was,
last
yeah.
week. He sent me shite. We rag on him a lot, obviously, but I mean, we love him. He's a sweet boy who's got a very bad nicotine addiction that he needs to sort out. But the other day, he got a call from a number which he didn't recognise. Oh no, sorry, was it Holly got the
Holly
call
got a phone
first?
call from someone. she
Holly,
recognised.
friend of us. She might come on the podcast one day. However, that would be catastrophic. But Holly got a call, and in a Holly way, picked up and been like, "Hello," and
And in the background was Jake Bugg's "All I Need" playing.
all I need a song.
Yes,
that
I've heard
Oscar-
about this.
Which an
Yeah.
inside joke is that is like a song which is known amongst our group at college.
Yes, because Oscar came up to me in the studio and was like, right, what's your fucking phone number? I said, what?
Yeah.
I said, what's your phone number? I said, he's like, does it begin with 01438 or something, whatever it was?
Anyway,
It
so
would-
some lass was calling, then called Oscar.
Yeah.
They got talking, and I just thought he knew her.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, this person wants to talk to you," and I was like, "Well, who is it?" And he was like, "I don't know. He's just some person." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "Hello," and they were like, "Hello," and I was like, "You all right?" And they were like, "Yeah, I'm all right. Is this Luke?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, hi, Luke. How are you?" And I was like, "I'm good," and they were like, "What socks do you wear?" And I went, "What?" And they went, what socks do you wear? And I went, "Tommy Hilfiger?" And they went, "Oh, bougie." And I was like,
And what about the name though, Luke? What about the
yeah.
name?
And I was like, "Who are you?" And they were like, "The name's Tia."
But I
and I
thought it
was
was to.
Tallulah. The name, it was like Tia, and then it was like, "Oh, the name's Tallulah." And I was like,
yeah.
"Right, okay."
Okay.
And I was just like, "Well, it's lovely to meet you." And I left her with Oscar. I didn't think much of it. Anyway, I got to the car park. Oscar's still on the phone to this girl, and she starts saying loads of weird shit about where he lives and stuff.
Like
Still, him
down
still,
to the T.
yeah, him still not knowing who she is. And then he was getting a bit creeped out. I mean, I think we all,
Yeah.
I think we all were a little bit.
I mean, I wasn't like aware of this at the time, but hearing about it was like, whoa, what the fuck? You know,
It was some pretty dark shit. It was weird, and she started quoting Bugsy Malone, and there was the song,
my name is
My name is
Tallulah.
Tallulah, and soon I'll be gone.
You know, all the
Right.
lyrics correlated with the situation.
And it was fucking weird. It was like really fucking bloody-
Bizarre,
yeah, it was
terrifying. It was like a
it was like
campfire
serial
story.
killer shit, like the
Yeah.
stuff you see in films. Anyway,
This is why I was loving it though. It was like popcorn. To
yeah.
me.
So we get back, and I drop him off in Heathfield, and
Yeah.
I think it was probably about 4 or so hours later. I called him up and I said, "Oh, what's going on with the situation?" He was like, "It's getting weirder and weirder." She just keeps on digging. Anyway, bottom line is we find out it turns out it was, what was her name?
Phoebe, I think.
Phoebe, friend of Holly's friend Lydia.
Friend of the
Oh my
podcast.
God, I know her.
Oh,
Yeah.
he knows her.
Yeah.
Is she in the year below us?
Yep. I think so.
His brain is broken.
So it all fell into place, right? And then we're like, oh, there we go. Bloody story solved, right? I was sat there thinking, I was like, do you know what would be jokes? Is if I sent him some texts, which were... because we weren't 100% sure if it was this person.
Yeah,
Like,
well, and at the
mystery.
time when you started this, it was finding out it was Phoebe.
Yeah. So I was like, I think I'm going to try and prank him a bit more, being the person I am. So I basically looked up loads of websites to see if I could send like anonymous text messages, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes, I can't do it without putting in your credit card details. Then I remembered I had a SIM card, a pay-as-you-go SIM card in the cupboard, like just a spare random I've got it here actually, a random spare pay-as-you-go SIM card from EE with a number on it, right? And I was like, I've got an old phone. Let's plug it in. Let's start texting him. So I started texting him. I was like, oh, this is a different number to the one he'd been getting texts and calls from before. And I texted him on it, and I was like, you thought I was Phoebe, but you're wrong. Anyway, I just started like messing with him a bit.
Yeah. But you went in specific details only you and him knew.
Yeah. And the suspicions arise that it was me, right? But that I debunked that by using my sort of like, I wouldn't call them skills, but just abilities, right? So he was like, no, it can't be Luke because they're typing right now and Luke's talking. Meanwhile, I'm just, because I know the keyboard like inside out, I'm just typing under the desk and looking at the webcam going, I can't believe this. This is awful. Yeah, it got a bit dark, I'm not going to lie. I was like, how are your dogs? The names of both these dogs. And he was like, and he was there like, oh fuck, this is, oh god,
Mate! No, mate, how does she... Mate, she's literally stalking me, mate.
Mate, she's going to know my favourite comedian's Russell Howard.
Oh god, he knows who I am. Anyway,
she knows about Russell.
I suppose this is my comeback. I suppose this was my comeback for him sending shit to Ryan.
Yeah, this is...
Ryan was in on this. He knew.
I was in on it. I knew the whole time. But everyone was like, oh my god, what is happening? I was just like...
You lot, honestly.
I feel bad. And it sounds like we're really horrible to Oscar, but it was all in good fun because he did send me fucking shit. So...
anyway, we were after the end, but it could have been something serious, and
yeah,
I was
and it was
what I want to know is what's the deal with that Phoebe girl? Because that is fucking weird.
It was very weird.
So that is weird.
So,
like,
it was very weird.
Behind it.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
You know, it was funny because I just had a thought in my head, you know, in terms of my story. If you rearrange the title, the words in the Sith, in Revenge of the Sith, you could have Revenge of the Shit. This is Star Wars Episode 3, ladies and gentlemen. The best of the prequels, frankly. But
it's an easy competition.
It is. It really is. So there you go.
We've had fucking horses falling over, stolen parcels, depressed musicians,
Billie Eilish, yeah.
Depressed musicians, and stalkers.
It's been a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. Another crazy episode of the Loudmouth podcast. But are we wrapping up? I take it we're wrapping up.
I just want to say this episode is brought to you in 4:3 to preserve the Loudmouth's original.
Snyder Cut Loudmouth, yes. I'm not watching the Snyder Cut next week.
I don't get it.
No, we're not watching the Snyder Cut
to watch that movie.
I don't get it.
4 hours long.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! 4 hours Zack Snyder movie.
I started watching Adam Curtis's.
Oh yeah, of course.
What is it? Can't Get You Out of My Head.
Can't Get You Out of My Head.
Bloody, that is impressive.
I do need to get onto it.
You need to. It's impressive how he puts stories together from found footage.
Yeah. Well,
I might probably talk about it next week.
Next week, yeah, when you've seen the full thing. Well, as we wrap up, I think we need to mention a few things. Loudmouth Instagram account ¡up on screen now.
Yes.
Follow it for Loudmouth updates.
For audio listeners, it will be in the description.
Yes, so we're out. We are officially out now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So listen to us via those platforms as well. You might be listening to us there right now. And
Google coming soon.
And Google coming soon.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're everywhere. You haven't got an excuse.
Yeah, you've... Oh, hold on. Sorry, you've got no excuse. Listen to us.
Well, on a final self-plug note, check out my new movie video for me and the boys and our friends and Paul Chuckle having a laugh. Please do watch it. And I'm Ryan Perry. You can follow me at Ryanpstudios on Twitter and Ryanpstudios on YouTube. Same on Letterboxd, boys.
Stream, I think it'll be out by now. So stream Mother by B. I think that's its name. If not, I'll correct that. But stream Mother by B. It should be out probably by the time this is out.
Very nice.
So I produced it. Oh, Alfie Akers on Letterboxd and Soundcloud and Spotify.
And you, Luke?
My name's in the description. Just find it.
Right. We'll see you later, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.